Here's a cool little through line. The gang starts out by this river in the opening shot, then they give Appa a bath in the same river about halfway through the episode. Then at the end of the episode, Sokka and Katara have their fight along it too. Remember when I said Aang only moves backwards without intending to while airbending one time? Well, I'm an idiot. He does it all the time if you count sneezing. Also, I like that Aang's sneeze blows the Appa's fur off of Sokka and Toph.
Well, actually what I'm trying to say is, some of us might fetch water while someone else might set up the fire pit or put up the tent. Even Momo does his fair share.
Forget you, Katara. Sokka goes and finds nuts and it's nothing but lip from you.
Seriously, what else you got?
Momo finds them and suddenly it's his fair share. Fucking justice for Sokka.
I don't understand. What's the problem here?
Never mind.
Toph does this weird lightning speed scoot back here, which leads me to believe, along with the sound effect, that it's a bending move. Probably the same kind of move she pulls on Sokka later in the episode.
Blood bending.
By the way, Toph mentioned she found her own food. What did she do, make a burrito out of leaves? So this entire episode is a chase. It's called The Chase, and goddammit, every time I see it now, I think of Mad Max Fury Road, and mostly because of these drums. There's people chasing these other people in an armored tank with these deep-ass drums playing. It's basically the same piece of media at this point. I just wish Azula had this guy with her. You better fucking not, Avatar. I can't tell, but if this is a full moon again for like the 5th episode in a row, we're gonna have a problem.
Actually, can you help us unload?
Really? You need me to help unload Sokka's funky-smelling sleeping bag?
Speaking of Sokka's sleeping bag, he got a new green one apparently. His last one got torched when they ran into the Rough Rhinos for the first time.
Ever since you joined us, you've been nothing but selfish and unhelpful.
What? Look here, Sugar Queen. I gave up everything I had so that I could teach Aang earthbending. So don't you talk to me about being selfish.
Sugar Queen?
As far as this conflict goes, I side with Sokka. Just let them go at it. But if you're gonna twist my arm, I guess I'd probably side with Katara. I see the logic in Toph's thinking, but I've been on a lot of teams in my life, so I think it's better when everyone's working to the betterment of everyone else. That way you've got 3 other people looking out for your best interests, not just yourself. Toph's viewpoint does make sense for her though, since her persona as the blind bandit is this rough and tumble, loudmouth, self-absorbed brat. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's a contrived argument, so I think it's good to have in here. Toph does the exact same motion here to bring up her earth tent on the front side and the back side of her as she did earlier to bring it up on the right and left sides. It's the same outcome from the same move, but for some reason my brain is like, shouldn't her orientation matter? Shouldn't she do a slightly different move? Behold, the only kicks thrown by a waterbender in the entire show, except for that weird fucking scroll. Sometimes, very rarely, when characters are shocked or angry in this show, they get this little darkened zigzag effect over their face. Seems like a really weird way to get the point across, but I don't know. I guess it works.
The stars sure are beautiful tonight. Too bad you can't see them, Toph.
I think that's an appropriate level of response. I think that's bang on. Also, watch Sokka completely just bench press Katara off of himself effortlessly here.
Maybe we can close our eyes just for a few minutes.
I gotta say it again, I love the sound design in this show. So often when the characters are in a very large room, there's a slight reverb on their voice, or like the soldiers having an echo from their helmets. Sokka's voice actually gets muffled here as he retreats back into his sleeping bag too. Just chef's kiss, great attention to detail. As Appa collapses and everyone falls off, Momo just takes off, he's fine. I thought this was gonna play into him noticing Azula and company, but no, he's just back a few shots later and just notices them first anyway.
Oh, just some angry freak with a ponytail who's tracked us all over the world.
What's wrong with ponytails, Ponytail?
This is a warrior's wolf tail.
Well, it certainly tells the other warriors that you're fun and perky.
Got him. Okay, it would be really annoying to ride these things if they always make this noise. I don't care how fast my horse is, if it was always making Donald Duck noises, I would shoot that horse. Katara strikes the same stance that Paku was teaching them in at the end of the Waterbending Master here. Nice.
I still think we could have taken him.
Are you kidding me? The crazy blue firebending.
Toph doesn't know what blue is. Stop flexing your vision on her, Katara. Sokka, what happened to your arms? Both of them. They're equally messed up in different ways.
Oh no, the sun is rising. We've been up all night with no sleep.
Sokka will be okay.
Are you sure? I've never not slept before.
That's not even close to true. You didn't sleep when you were busting Haru out, and seems to me you were caught out at sea all night during the storm.
Wake up, buddy!
See? We're 2 for 3 on going flying through branches being painful. The swamp? Nah, not a big deal.
Of course, we could have gotten some sleep earlier if Toph didn't have such issues.
What?
No, my ears!
You're blaming me for this?
No, she's not blaming you.
No, I'm blaming her.
Katara gets a lot of hate, but I gotta admit, I love it when she gets fired up and says whatever the hell she wants. God, that's a sick line.
How dare you blame Appa? He saved your life 3 times today. If there's anyone to blame, it's you. You're always talking about how you carry your own weight, but you're not. He is. Appa's carrying your weight. He never had a problem flying when it was just the 3 of us.
I'm out of here.
What did I just do? I can't believe I yelled at my earthbending teacher.
We need to find Toph and apologize.
Okay, that shouldn't be too hard. She walked off like 15 seconds ago. Honestly, if there wasn't this little cutaway to Azula following their trail, this would have been like an instant 180.
I'm gonna use Appa's fur to make a fake trail and lead the tank off course.
Wait, hold on, that's Sokka's old bag. Why did he need a new one? Is this one out of fashion? We need money for food, Sokka, what the hell?
The trail goes this way.
The Avatar is trying to give us the slip. You two head in that direction and keep your eye out for the bison. I'll follow this trail.
This is some Sherlock Holmes shit from Azula. Some real edit the equations going over her face as she figures it out type stuff. That would be a funny meme when you can't think of anything funny to say. Someone should do that. Someone that's not funny. Can someone in the comments tell me if this is how tree lines work? Because I don't know how tree lines work. Does it usually just turn from forest into desolate wasteland instantly? I love that you can see Aang's thought process here as he figures he'll stay in question and maybe fight Azula just by his facial expressions. What's a little weird right here though is the perspective on these 2 shots. On the close shot, Aang seems like he's pretty close to this rubble behind him, but then in the next shot it fades to, it seems like it's a lot further behind him. The depth of field just seems a little wonky.
We made it! We're safe!
You did it, Appa!
I am 50-50 on this. Like, does every single person on the face of the planet know that these are based off of real lizards that can actually do this? Because I knew this was hidden knowledge years ago, but it's been years, so in my head I'm like, oh, everyone knows now. What am I talking about? Avatar? Oh, yeah, these things are based off of real animals or whatever. Katara, I don't mean to tell you how to fight, but didn't you just obliterate that 500-pound lizard with the river water? I, personally, would use the river water.
Was it just me? Or was that guy kinda cute?
I mean, she's right. Look at this dude.
All right, you've caught up with me. Now who are you and what do you want?
You mean you haven't guessed? You don't see the family resemblance? Here's a hint. I must find the Avatar to restore my honor.
You seem a little too young to be traveling alone.
You seem a little too old.
Perhaps I am.
I know what you're thinking. I look like I can't handle being by myself.
I wasn't thinking that.
This might be the most genuine talk in the whole show. It ends a little quickly, but we've got about 23 minutes to an episode, so we gotta make it fast. The contents of this talk are awesome. I really don't think that they're even meant for the target audience.
You sound like my nephew. Always thinking you need to do things on your own without anyone's support. There is nothing wrong with letting people who love you help you.
I feel like this kind of thing is something that young adults struggle with more than like preteen kids. Maybe that's why it hits harder for me now, because I can really understand what Iroh's talking about. This show might be for kids, but everyone can get something out of it.
Do you really want to fight me?
Yes. I really do.
Zuko.
You don't think about it, but the crew hasn't actually seen Zuko since the finale of Book 1. He hasn't had the resources to track Aang, so this is their first meeting in a really long time. This is a really cool little character moment. I really like that they found a way to squeeze it in the middle of a fight. It shows off everyone's personality. Aang is quick and clever, Azula is nothing if not able to think on her feet and be resourceful, and Zuko, well, he's Zuko. What is this house made of? It looks like bricks, but Azula cuts it apart like paper. Even if it is wood, that's still crazy. Firebending has never and won't ever again be able to do anything like cutting buildings apart, so what's this made of? Fucking styrofoam? Aang actually isn't animated falling into this pile of wood at all. The wood falls, some dust gets kicked up, and then suddenly he's underneath all of it. Really nice that Azula's fire cools down after she initially uses it. She's cool, alright? Everything she does is cool, I admit it. Toph is a really big fan of this moving people and not the earth move this episode. Pretty sure this is the only episode she ever does it in too.
Blood bending.
I'm done. I know when I'm beaten. You got me. A princess surrenders with honor.
Notice how in both situations where she had a choice on who to attack, Azula went for family members both times. I guess her really not caring about her family in all the flashbacks holds true. Okay, a bunch of stuff to mention in this shot. If you look closely, you can actually see Sokka join in the attack with his boomerang here. Also, this move has a vague similarity at least to when Zhang did his Chris Angel shit and disappeared. And finally, what is Toph even doing? She's just like shooting a stream of dirt at her? I think this shot would have looked a lot better if everyone else did their normal attacks, but Toph did a classic stomp punch rock launching attack, and that was the thing that caused the explosion.
Get away from us!
Zuko, I can help.
So this episode's great. This is a non-stop chase and tensions are high through nearly the entire episode. I feel like the dispute between Katara and Toph should be more annoying, but it really isn't. They found a way to make it work. The action is awesome, and like Zuko winning his fight last episode, once again it gives the audience exactly what they want, an impromptu team-up of the gang with Iroh and Zuko. It feels good. You can't deny it. The Toph-Iroh talk is fit so perfectly in there too. Without that, I feel like the episode could have gotten almost tiring, which I guess is kind of what they were going for with their main cast being tired, but you know what I mean. Just a few minutes to slow down and have a genuine talk between two strangers, especially amidst all of the chasing and yelling and just before we get into one of the most bombastic throwdowns in the whole series. It just fits really well. It's just right. It's good to slow things down sometimes, and it feels especially good when it's something that's so clearly from the heart. Patron shoutouts. If you want to be 2 full episodes ahead, you can support me on Patreon for just a few bucks. Biggest shoutouts of all go to Fritz Sullivan, who smells like a forest that wears cologne. Just got offered a job for some reason, who won the national competition for loudest whisperer and quietest yeller. Keegan Scott, who can kill you with a wink or instantly seduce you, depends on which eye. Skylos, who looks like if aliens only ever saw the Mr. Olympia competitions and wanted to make what they saw as an average human being. And Zoompy, who's so slick he could probably sell you 1 car for the price of 2. Other huge shoutouts go to my other top patrons: Be My Valentine, Code Canut, Derek Cornwell, DJ Jax, Do Mutual Aid, Eleanor Rose, Garmer, Glintlock, Flarkler Glass, Nicholas Abbott, Most Super of Snippers, and Tiago Nascimento. Next time is Bitter Work, which continues the train of amazing episodes after The Blind Bandit. It's just banger after banger after banger after banger after